A very late good evening to the Kitten Brigade. Insane Kitten here. Alright, we are going to do some more Chaos Child. I didn't know what to play tonight, so I was like, might as well finish this game. Actually, there's probably still like maybe 10 more hours of this game, so this game will still go on. It's the never-ending game. But I've been enjoying. Not that I'm, you know, making fun of how never-ending it's been feeling. Onwards to the true ending. Okay, everything looks okay. Looks like, maybe. Who knows? Good enough. Where was I? I think file 11. Butterfly. This looks promising. It's got just like a sparkle background. Sparkly background. Where did we leave off? Oh yeah, this was when he was on the phone with the girl who confessed to him. But we don't even know who this girl is. May just be a made-up girl in this world.
Nani?
That gasp. You hang up first. Oh my god. No, not this. It's like, no, you hang up first. Wow, that kiss. He doesn't even know this girl. He's only ever spoken to this girl on the phone. I took a deep breath and let all the airs in my lungs. I've been in such a panic that I didn't even remember what I talked about. The only thing I could barely recall was that we'd agreed to go on a date after school tomorrow. She told me that it would be embarrassing to let all the girls in her class see her, so she wanted to meet me someplace a little further away from the school. So we both agreed to meet at Cafe Lax, I think. My brain had started to work again and realized the mistake I'd made. If we went to Lax, someone from the newspaper club might see us. I know. Not to copy what Awazaki said, but I'd be embarrassed to let them see me. Maybe I should change the meeting location. I took out and tapped the number I just called. But... What? That is curious. We just literally talked to her. Instead of her beautiful voice, I was met with the cold voice of a recording. Indeed. Maybe she was taking a bath, or she'd run out of battery? We'd been talking a long time, so it was certainly possible. I tried again, but... Kitten, did you ever manage to get out that area in Resident Evil? Are you talking about that first area when you start off episode 2 in with Claire and what's her name? Moira. Yeah, yes, we did. But I literally spent like an hour in that first area, and I was just like, that was probably way too long. I was kind of slow, but I'm kind of slow at these kinds of games when I'm playing them blind. You know me, and plus I only really play them blind. But how are you, Equalator? We actually finished the whole episode 2, so we actually did the whole episode in one sitting. So that seems to be kind of like good chunk of game to do for like Freaky Fridays, because it means I just finish one episode per stream, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice that I managed to do that. Though I think that took me like 4 to 5 hours to do one game of Friday. Yeah, basically. So the RE2 Revelations will probably last me has 4 episodes, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4 episodes. So that'll last us a good month of Freaky Fridays. It was the recording again. What was going on? So my suspicions about this route, we're currently working on Uki's route, is that I don't, were you here? Were you here for this route? Well, anyways, I'll summarize it. So when you do this route, it takes place right after Ito, one of your friends, he starts going nuts and he kills Yui. We will swap to Festivus Fridays when December comes. I don't know of any, you know, was it you? Was it you who asked me about playing Christmas games? Somebody asked me about playing Christmas games. I was like, I don't know. I don't remember playing any Christmas games last year. I don't think I did. And I was like kind of going through my list. I'm like, I don't think I have any like seasonal Christmassy type games I can play. So I don't know. Like if there is like a good seasonal Christmassy type game I can play, sure I'll switch it to Festivus Fridays. Wait, to summarize this, basically my theory is that Takeru is actually riding out some sort of dream delusion, because Uki's psychic ability is that she can make other people's delusions come to life for them, and she can experience the delusion with them. So she's kind of like trapped in their dream world with them and exploring their dream world and make it feel like it's reality. Because I think that Takeru is actually in fact dying as we speak. He got stabbed, maybe possibly fatally, and then now she's actually invoking her psychic powers to live out one of his dreams or whatever. Hentai Shoto 3D Christmas Party is on sale, but go on. Yeah, I don't think I can play this on Twitch. I mean, I'll play, I could probably stream it on Discord if y'all really want. If y'all really want me to play this game, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to stream this on Twitch without getting banned or something for it. Just saying. But if she wasn't picking up, there wasn't anything I could do. She'd be able to see that I called, so she called me back when she looked at her phone. And come to think of it, we could go someplace else after meeting at Cafe Lex. If we did run into someone, we could probably talk our way out of it. Probably. And so suddenly there was a knock at the door and I almost leapt out of my chair. For a moment I thought back to the Return of the New Generation madness and I felt a cold sweat start to form under my armpits. I looked outside, afraid. Them clammy armpits. Outside the door was a girl I knew well.
Uki.
What was she doing here? Whatever she was here for, I couldn't leave her out there. Uki looked relieved when she saw me. She handed me a plastic container wrapped in a tiny sack. Oh, that's really sweet of her to bring dinner. I took the sack. The container was still warm. It must have been made just a little while ago. She walked over here in like the evening time. Oh my god, her backpack's really cute. It's a froggy backpack. Oh, I don't think I read that. She turned to go. Something bowed her head and turned to go. I tried to say thank you, but the words got stuck in my throat. Giro backpack. She suddenly turned back to face me. I did not. I totally skipped that accent. Oh my god, I'm just like...
いただいた観葉植物、毎日大事にお世話してますから。もしよければ、今度私のお部屋に見に来てください。
It doesn't really sound to me. Yeah, it sounds cute, but it doesn't sound very natural to me. Like it definitely sounds like this person is working that voice. I don't know. I don't honestly believe anyone has this kind of a voice naturally. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some people have naturally adorable voices. She smiled and fidgeted as she looked up at me. And she's gone. We're not even gonna walk her home. And then she ran off into the darkness before I could say anything. The meal she'd made for me had a very kind, gentle taste. We're not concerned that she walked over in the darkness into our freaking bum RV place. I don't think they do, but Lady Pichu's voice, or Lily Peach's voice is supposed to be her natural voice. Yes, okay, I think I recall her voice is pretty, like, high-pitchy. You think so? I mean, I don't really watch her that often, so... but maybe. Possible. Is possible. Or... I don't know, does she stream a lot? It's also possible that people keep up that kind of persona as well. Not that I'm like, you know, saying that's bad or anything. Some people have streaming personas, because that's what, yeah, she's a streamer. Lily Pichu. I believe I follow her, actually. I think I followed her after I saw one of her, Twitch Sings video or something. I can't remember. She's got, like, a very cutesy voice, yeah. I'm so sleepy. I'll did the bucket list. Meet person with cute, unrealistic, natural anime voice. But that's the thing, they might keep up the streamer personality even in person. Like, if they say, like, they're doing, like, a public kind of event or something. You might never ever really figure out if that's really their voice or not, because they're really good at, keeping up the voice, whenever they are out and about. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not too hard for them to, like, if it's not a huge strain for them to do it, they'll probably keep it up. You know. Last night I'd been too excited to sleep properly. I'd gone through all the back issues of Cool Cat Press I could find, trying to learn all the best dating tips, and the next thing I knew, it was light outside. So he didn't even sleep. He stayed up reading all these Cool Cat Press. As a result, my mind had been dulled from exhaustion all morning, and my usual stylish and cool mannerisms were missing a little of their sharpness.
Oh, いたいた。おはよう、タク。おはよう。ずいぶんと眠そうね。さてはまた夜更かししたんでしょ。
いいよな。そりゃあんなことがありゃ眠れないよな。
Joyce has a piece of squid in her mouth. As I sat down at my seat, I was surrounded by familiar faces. I took out the contents of my bag and put them in my desk, trying as hard as I could to act natural.
なんだその
そうだよ。せっかくこうして教室まで挨拶しに来てあげたのにさ。
そもそもなんでわざわざ教室まで来るんだよ。
そんなの決まってるじゃないすか。気になるからですよ。
True, is definitely talking about what happened with Aozaki Yume's letter. I couldn't stop thinking about her myself. A date after school. A date with the most beautiful girl in school. He doesn't even know what she looks like, by the way. He's just been told that she's the most beautiful girl in school. There was no way I'd be able to think about anything else. Like, he's fawning over a girl like he doesn't even know what she looks like. I think this is rather, like, silly. Just because he was told by all his friends that she's supposed to be, like, the most beautiful girl in school. My mind was already spinning like a merry-go-round with happy fantasies. No. If I started getting excited and freaking out over a single date, I'll be no different than those wannabe normie wrong-siders. But...
ねえタク教えてよ
placebo waifu. Setaka smacked her hands down on my desk and leaned forward.
何の話だよ。
だから昨日の手紙のことだってば
別に尾上には関係ないだろ。
はあなるほどなるほど
なんだよ。
さては大方の予想通り単なるいたずらだったってオチですね
Like, a lot of the times, I believe most of the Japanese female voices you ever see in animes and stuff, like even in here too, like whenever you see like the like interviews with the or specials or whatever featuring the actresses and they're not like voice acting at that time, like you can totally tell that like they have to really work their voices to do these voices as well. So like these voices are not really very natural.
そうなの
やっぱりな。俺もそうだと思ってたんだよな。つかそうに決まってる。だって宮代がだぞ。まさかあの宮代がリア充にクラスチェンジするだなんてありえんもんな。
Bite me, Ito. If, well, that's what you wanted to think, then fine. The reality was the exact opposite. Bart Simpson's voiced by a woman? Yeah.
みんなそんな風にしつこく聞くものじゃないわ
Yeah.
あくまで
Ash
も
Ketchum.
タクルのプライベートの話なんだから
Boyish characters are going to be voiced by women. I think their natural voices sound really different. Yeah. This is true. Like Serika's voice here, she can swap between like that really cutesy voice to like her cold kind of serious Serika voice, and there's like a big difference between the two voices. Like she has that higher pitched chipper one, and then like when she switches to the serious mode, it's like much deeper. more suave, more deeper.
むんちゃんは気にならないの私は別にその割にはさっきからずっとここにいますよね
She's been standing there too.
そうほらちゃんともらった手紙には誠意を持ってお返事しなきゃダメよって言おうかなって
私は別に
ほう
だからまあタクルが教えてくれるっていうなら
you know, if he's willing to say so.
ね
I know what. You want to find out as badly as everybody else, don't you?
それで
だから何。
いいじゃん。いい加減もったいつけずに教えろって。手紙だ。
本物だったのそれともいたずらだったの
それは
それは Everyone's on the edge of their
その
seats.
話は終わりだ。そんなことより僕たちが今話すべきは昨日できなかった企画の話だ。
So everybody sounded upset. Even Kurusu joined in.
ケチ
いいじゃねえか。減るもんでもなし。
そうだ
なんと言おうとダメだ。というわけで昼休みに企画会議の続きをするぞ。いいな。
It was clear that nothing good would come from talking to them about it. I tried to force the conversation to change direction, but...
なんで昼休み部活は放課後だよね
Uh-oh.
あ、今明らかにギクってしましたね
Geek.
つうことは
放課後に何かあるってことで
いや、それは
Oops.
あるのね
Straight up, あるのね。
あるね
あるね。Everyone found out immediately. Would I be able to complete my mission after school? No, I had to, for the sake of my bright, shining future.
こに来るね。
Oh
伊
man.
藤先輩、ちゃんと見張っててくださいね。
No, don't follow me on my date.
任せとけ。
楽しみだね。
つまりここまでをまとめるとだね。
I kept thinking about what would happen after school, but even during Wakui's lecture. Aozaki Yume, a girl whom everyone claimed was not only the prettiest girl in her grade, but the most beautiful in the school. I thought about going to see what she was like this morning, but eventually decided not to. If she saw me, she'd think I'd come to check her out.
宮代先輩
Hello, sub-secret reagent.
外見で判断するんですね。幻滅です。
That Hinai face is too cute. Oh, I don't recall which one it was. Ah, no. It's going too fast. I think I gotta config this on the auto. I might have tweaked it too high. Hopefully. If that happened, everything would be ruined. I wondered what she's like. Her voice was cute. Oops. I knew that for a fact. If you could tell whether someone was pretty from their voice, I could say without a doubt that she must be gorgeous. That's so not true. The question was what she was like on the inside. Even if she was cute, I didn't want to date a girl who was a shallow slut. Wow, the whole only they're hot thing was for shallow people with shallow minds. Wait. A common, if unspoken, addendum to many things girls say about guys they like. For example, I like a man who's funny. Only if they're hot. I like a man who can cook. Only if they're hot. Wow. Okay. A true right-sider like me wouldn't be deceived by appearances, but they say you can't judge a book by its cover, but it's also true that what's on the outside of a person reflects on who they are inside. Which meant that on the inside, she had to be.
それじゃあこの先を宮代くんに読んでもらお
No,
うかな。
that's not always true either.
宮代くん。
おい、宮代。当てられてるぞ。宮代。
Lol. I suddenly realized the whole class was looking at me.
宮代くん。もしかして聞いてなかった？
いえ。
I stood up and then froze. Where was I supposed to be reading from exactly?
122ページ4行目だ。宮代。
Ito, I owe you one.
こんな夢を見た。腕組みをして枕元に座っていると、仰向きに寝た女が静かな声でもう死にますという。女は長い髪を枕に敷い
Head
て、
rich as well
輪郭
after
の柔らか
hot.
な
Wow.
ウリザネ顔をその中に横
So
たえ
it's
て、
okay if they're rich too.
真っ白な頬の底に温かい血の色が程よくさして、
As
唇
long
の
as
色
they're
は
one or
無
the
論
other,
赤い。
hot or rich.
しかし女は静かな声で、宗主夢に胡蝶となるとはっきり言った。久然として胡蝶なり。
As I read the passage, I started to get confused. I had to read Soseki's 10 Nights of Dreams in class before it, and I didn't remember this part.
自分も確かにこれは死ぬなと思った。そこで知らず衆の夢に胡蝶となれるか、胡蝶の夢に衆となれるか、と上から覗き込むようにして聞いてみた。
Good
衆
question.
と胡蝶とは、すなわち必ず死にますとも、と言いながら、女はパッチリと目を開け、あなたも夢の中にいるの。早く脱出しないと戻れなくなってしまうわよ、タクト。
What?
おいおい宮代くん、一体どこを読んでいるんだい？
いや、
Wait, hold on. Interesting. So there was a part in there that said, then she opened her eyes and said that you're dreaming too. If you don't get out soon, you won't be able to get out at all, Taku. Interesting. And this part where he said that he didn't remember this part. Yeah, he's reading something, obviously. Told me I was going to die. Kind of like what he's going through. My classmates also found my reaction funny because they all started to laugh.
おいおい。 いくらいいこと続きだからってしっかりしろって。
I just stood there in shock as the rest of the class laughed at me. I looked back at the textbook and there was nothing like that written there. Of course, the text certainly didn't have my name in it. What the hell was that? Was that just a delusion? Come to think of it, something weird had happened last night too. Was Ito right? Was I just feeling overwhelmed because I was chosen as the news commentator and received a love letter? Or was I still tired after all that stuff had happened with the case? The harder I tried to think about it, the harder I got to think it all.
やれやれ。どうやら寝ぼけてるようだし、顔を洗ってきた方がいいんじゃないか？
すいません。
I can feel the rest of the class staring at me as I weaved my way through the desks and out to the hallway. I should probably just do what he suggested and go wash my face. Maybe that should make my head feel clearer. My footsteps echoed down the empty hallway as I headed for the washroom. I saw it again. There was no way I could mistake it for anything else. How you doing today? I'm doing alright. It was a die sword. How are you doing, Secret Agent? I had like I kind of slept in really late today because I stayed up really late yesterday. So yeah, I'll probably be up all night tonight too. I don't know. I'm hoping I don't. But yeah, I think I was sleeping a lot. I tend to sleep in on the weekends a lot to kind of make up for shorting my sleep during the weekday. I was coding all day, worn out. What was I staying for? Just whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what I stay up for. Internet. I blame the internets. What specifically were you coding? Though, what were you working on? But that sounds tiring. Streaming? Oh, streaming codes. That's cool. Wait. You? Streaming you? Coding for streaming? Oh my god, Boba Fett! Yeah, I'm not a fan of mobile typing either, especially if I'm trying to do it in a Twitch chat. It's just like, it's the worst. Let me start over. Okay. Alright. We'll ignore all that. And the person holding it was... Who was it?
Uki.
See, we've seen this before. He saw her holding her die sword before, because that's her sword. By the way, this sword totally looks like it's like a 3D animated sword. This, like, her sword, especially out of all the other swords, looks very apparent like it's 3D. Like, this part here especially looks like it's 3D. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Because it looks like that would be really easy to, like, model in 3D, like the repetitive design. So that's why I think all their swords were probably done in 3D. I'm trying to find genes that weren't picked up by a gene reference library. Smoothing looks 3D. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like, also the way the shadows fall is very consistent, so it kind of looks like it's 3D modeled. But that sounds really tedious, Secret. Like, are you manually, like, looking for those genes? Or what? No, you said you were coding for it, so I guess you're just finding ways to put together an algorithm that will pick up things that were missed. Is my assumption. But why? Before I could say anything, she turned around and ran away on tiny feet. I ran after her. So see, I think Uki is keeping up, like, using her psychic abilities, which is why he always sees her with her die sword. This is the second time he's seen her with her die sword appear in his, you know, random places. So she's keeping up this delusion. Because I think she has to be there participating as part of the delusion for it to continue. No, I have 39 runs and I have to compare them. Oh, okay. So, you're trying to program something? Because you were saying that you were coding all day. I don't know, I'm like trying to, I'm actually genuinely trying to think about like how you're doing that. But maybe it's beyond my ability to understand what you're actually doing. Found 15,000 unique genes. Okay, this is not something you would do manually. Okay, you're definitely doing something with the program to pick those up. You had to write code to handle big data. Yeah, I imagine you would. I don't have any experience with that. I mean, I barely have any coding experience. So what am I saying? Big data. Big data! I was sure she went this way. I found Uki and quickly ran over to her.
Uki!
Why does data make me sound like, or why does data remind me of like a Japanese type of doll? Oh, daru. Is it daru? Daru someone? What is those like big round like kind of, they're not really dolls. And like usually they have like blank eyes and then you fill in the eyes. Daruma? Oh, Daruma. 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 Daruma dolls. Yeah, this thing. These thing. They're kind of weird. Is a hollow, round, Japanese traditional doll modeled after Bodhidharma, the founder of the Zen tradition of Buddhism. These dolls, though typically red and depicting a bearded man, vary greatly in color and design depending on region and artist. Though considered a toy by some, Daruma has a design that is rich in symbolism and is regarded more as a talisman of good luck to the Japanese. Daruma dolls are seen as a symbol of perseverance and good luck, making them a popular gift of encouragement. The doll has been commercialized by many Buddhist temples to use alongside the setting of goals. Oh, that's right. When purchased, the figure's eyes are both blank white. A user will then select a goal or wish and paint in the left eye of the figure's two eyes. Once the desired goal is achieved, the right eye is filled in. Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting kind of part of it where you fill in the eyes when you meet your goal. So here. The ancient artifacts? Daruma? There's a Kirby oh my god! Are you kidding me? Inquilator? There's a Kirby Daruma? I think I need one of these. I need this. Where do you get such a Kirby Daruma? That'd be kind of cool. Now I want one. And then that way I can come up with a goal. Stream goals.
Takura-san!
Uki looked up at me, confused. Her bangs were a little wet and she'd been wiping them with a handkerchief. She wasn't holding a dye sword. She was just holding a girly handkerchief.
何をしてるんだ？
実は授業中にうっかり居眠りをしてしまって、それで先生に顔を洗ってくるようにって。
居眠り？
はい。最近朝早くから夜遅くまで施設のお手伝いをしているので疲れてしまったみたいで。
Her little body seemed to get even smaller as she apologized. Looking at her, it was impossible to believe she was planning to do something evil with a dye sword.
そうか。
That's not the impression I'm getting though. I feel like they're trying to lead you in this route to think that she's up to something bad, but it's like, I think I've pretty much figured out this route.
恥ずかしい話ですが。
That face she was making while she was ashamed. Her cheeks went red with shame and she turned her head downward.
それじゃあ私は授業に。
Oh my god, there's an Amazon link. Do I dare? Do I dare click on these? Oh my god. $109. $109 for a Kirby Daruma figure. And it's probably hollow too, because they're supposed to be hollow. Wait, what the fuck? It says the item weight is 3.13 pounds. This does not seem like close to a traditional Daruma. Also, I've noticed that his eyes are filled in, so you would have to like It doesn't really make sense. He's not really that close to an actual Daruma. See, I like the aspect of like filling in the eyes so that you can like work on goals and stuff. I guess it's kind of neat though that it's a Kirby Daruma. I think looking at that now, it's like, I'd probably rather get like a traditional Daruma. Not to mention that $109 is just too much to make my goals come true. Uki bowed her head and then disappeared down the hall. There it was again. I was seeing things again. What was happening to me? I was thinking of Dogu. I like how we went off on a Daruma tangent just because Secret went like and did a typo with data. Lunchtime came and I went to the club room like I'd originally planned. I was still thinking about the creepy thing I'd seen. The broadcasting club were playing their daily lunch broadcast. How many people actually looked forward to this? Wait, didn't they just say they were doing lunchboxes? Time for the Hekiho lunchbox. I thought that they were actually like handing out lunchboxes. Because I was just thinking, oh, that would be really cool if like a school did like lunch boxes and sold them. I kind of wish that my kids' school would do lunches that you could buy there, but oh well. Oh well. But today, so wait, they're just calling it a lunchbox hour? Maybe their lunch broadcast is called the date. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it was. I'm like reading it. I'm like, what? It's not an actual lunchbox that you get. Because see, I could see a lunchbox brightening up someone's day, but this no, just no. Oh, see, when this is something I'd like to do. Sitting at a kotatsu and eating an orange. Life goals. See, this is why I want to get a kotatsu, so I can just say I've done it. I need to figure out how to make a kotatsu, guys. I need help. I prefer a mango or grapefruit. Oranges are messy. Wait. Why are oranges messy? If you get like those like peelable, little mini oranges, those aren't bad. Like mandarin oranges. Mandarin oranges. Like man. Mangoes are pretty messy. Too, you know. You gotta like mandarins are oranges. They are kinds of oranges. They're mandarin oranges. Duh. And that's the kind of oranges they eat in the series. In like in animes and stuff. Okay, that sounds freaky. You have to wake up. Mikan? I mean, I guess Mikan are actual oranges. I don't know. I don't know if they specify like specific types of oranges in Japan. See, we're totally asleep. We're probably just dying as all this is going on. Is someone calling my name? I wonder if Uki's doing us dirty by keeping us here in this dream world here. I think that's a specific Japanese citrus fruit. Oh, okay. I thought mikans were roughly translated as oranges. Mikan is a mandarin, I think. Orange is American orange. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So yes, mikans. They typically eat mikans then, which I guess are mandarin oranges. You know, the mandarins are still considered oranges. Mandarin oranges. They're just a type of orange. I won't be able to come back. What does that mean?
Oi,
それって一体
But fine, I want to eat a mikan orange under a kotatsu, okay? In like the cold seasons here. And we have, I mean, it gets pretty chilly over here, so it'd be nice to have a kotatsu. I'm honestly not sure. I'll just call everything mikans. That's better. I have no objections. Okay. I mean, you're free to eat whatever you like. You can eat a mango or you could eat a grapefruit. I'm sure those are just as good to eat under kotatsu. I'm sure anything tastes better under kotatsu. But yeah, I have to figure out how to make a kotatsu. I have to like figure out like if I can buy a specific table and where to get the heater and put it all together. What kind of blanket I could put onto it. I think that'd be an interesting project. What do you guys think? Build a kotatsu on stream. Let's get all really weeaboo and build our own kotatsu in Canada. Let's do it. I don't know why they don't sell kotatsus here, because I think they would be pretty popular in like colder areas too. Get the workshop ready. Yeah, you guys can join along in the stream with your own materials. I'll post the materials list of what you need. I don't see the appeal of one. What's it for? Well, you don't live in an area where it's cold, but like, is it just for making things cozy? It would like say like you live in like a really cold place. It's probably better on your energy bill to use a kotatsu and stay under the table because the table would be warm while everything else feels cold. I see. Yeah, I don't know if it gets cold enough where you live for you to enjoy a kotatsu is what I'm saying. You would only really use a kotatsu when it gets pretty cold seasonally. The lunchtime broadcast was back to normal. All the other students were acting like nothing was out of the ordinary. They were discussing what anime was good this season or where they were going to go after school. Now I understand. You've met a revelation with this idea. It was like that broadcast had never happened. At this point, even I had to admit that something wasn't right. Was I going crazy? I heard a voice and turned around. And I gasped again. Uki was standing there, holding a shining blade. Freaky. Huh? I adjusted my glasses and took another look. Uki was in front of me, but she wasn't holding a dai sword. Her oval eyes went wide with surprise. I tried to act calm, but Uki didn't seem satisfied. I walked ahead so that she couldn't tell how worried I was getting on the inside. I could feel her following me from behind. Everyone was already in the room. It kind of bothers me that she says chaosu, and there's no s ending at the end of chow. Just saying. But okay. I watched Uki start to make the tea, like always, and sat down in my chair. They stole Chaos from Hitman Reborn. I think in a lot of animes they say Chaos instead of Chow. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if I watched Hitman Reborn. I think I did a little bit. I don't really remember Chaos. Have you seen Katekyo Hitman Reborn? No, I don't think I have. What is this? What is this? What am I clicking on? Oh, this guy. Okay, maybe I didn't watch Hitman Reborn. Maybe I didn't. I think I sort of recognize some of the characters, but I don't think I've watched it. Watched it. Is it like another like kind of shonen series? It might be.
なんだなんだ、でっかいため息なんかついて。まさか昨日の今日でいきなり彼女に振られでもしたか？
Getting dumped before your first date. I think so. It's a peak shonen with a good plot. What's a
違う、そんなんじゃない。
What's a peak shonen? I've never heard that term before. Peak shonen. I let my head droop down as I tried to think. What was happening to me didn't seem to make sense. Was it only happening to me? Either way, I didn't think I'd be able to solve this problem on my own, which meant...
あのさ、
Oh.
ちょっと聞いてほしいんだけど。
ん？どうしたの？改まって。
I just mean it's at the peak of the shonen genre. Isn't it slightly older now, though? Like, that's why I'm like, what do you mean by peak shonen? I guess you're saying it's like it was a popular kind of shonen series at the time, or is this Katekyo Hitman Reborn? Is that like a new season of it?
あのさ、実は
Yeah, I think it was popular when I was still in high school, so 10 years ago. Oh, Equilator dating himself. 10 years ago, he was in high school still. And I told him all about everything that had happened since last night. I didn't mention Uki's name since she was right there.
それって大丈夫なのかな？
I thought it means boy. Yeah, shonen means boy. But when we say shonen series, we're talking about like series, whether it's a manga or anime that's geared towards kind of young teenage boys or middle school to like high school aged boys. Yeah, is what those types of series are typically geared towards.
専門のお医者様に見てもらった方がいいかもしれないわね。
It's the same for like shoujo series. Those kinds of series are geared more towards middle school, high schooler girls in that age range.
うん。
Did you watch Ichigo 100%? Yes, I have seen that. It's a good series. It's a good one. Everyone started to give their own opinions.
私はあんまり考えすぎない方がいいと思いますけどね。ほら、気の持ちようってのもありますし。
そうそう、女の子から手紙もらって舞い上がってるだけだろ。
そうかな。
They're trying to assure him that everything's okay, these dream people. I think that was my first contact with hentai anime. Ichigo 100% is not a hentai anime, god damn it. I had the DVD copy of it and my dad asked me if it was porn. The fuck? Are you serious? Ichigo 100% isn't a hentai. It doesn't even have anything racy in it. I mean, yeah, maybe I think maybe there's some jokes in it that might be a little on the adult side, but hold on. Ichigo 100%. Am I thinking of the right series? Oh, never mind. I was thinking of different series. What is this one? I think I've seen it. I just don't remember it very well. I watched this one a long time ago. Ichigo 100% chronicles the school years of Junpei, a student and aspiring movie director, and his relationship with the girls that enter his life. At the start of the series, he encounters a mysterious and beautiful girl on the roof of his middle school, but does not remember anything about her other than she wears strawberry print panties. Okay, I don't remember this. Maybe I didn't watch this. Wait, then what other series am I thinking of that's got Ichigo in it? So you haven't seen it? No. The DVD case is artwork of them in bikinis and other scandalous clothing. Well, just because it has that. No, it's not Fruits Basket. I think I'm thinking of... Oh, I'm thinking of Ichigo Mashimero. Let me find that. Ichigo Mashimaro. That's the one I was thinking of. I'm like, that is so not a hentai. So not a hentai. It's more like, this one, Ichigo Mashimaro is more like a comedy series. Here, let me paste it for you. Ichigo Mashimaro. It's a funny one. Adult blocker closed access to the page because the page has a forbidden content. For what? Ichigo 100%? Okay, so no, I have not watched Ichigo 100% because I was reading the plot. I was like, I don't recognize this series at all. I don't know it. Is it any good? It doesn't really sound that good. I probably wouldn't enjoy it at this age anymore. Maybe I was overthinking things. To be honest, I didn't want to think too hard about it. Maybe I just wanted to hear that everything was okay. I did feel a little better getting it off my chest.
Taku?
Yeah, that one. Ichigo Mashimaro. Have you seen that one?
あ、いや、参考になった。礼を言うよ。
It kind of reminds me a little of Yuri? Yuzu Yuri? I have it. Oh, yes. Yes, you should. You should watch it. It's funny. It is funny. It's kind of like along the lines of like Azumagadayo, Lucky Star, like those kinds of like what do you call that? Like a 4 type manga series? Oh, there's a PS2 video game? Should I play it? Should I try and play it on stream? Probably no translated version of it.
もういいの？
なあ、それに企画の話もしなくちゃならないし。
I wouldn't be able to. I would struggle hard to play it.
かまけている時間もないだろう。
I don't know enough Japanese to navigate a Japanese game on my own. I would need like a walkthrough probably. I kind of considered doing it with Battle Angel Alita. There's one game that for the, I think it's for the PlayStation or something. It's a very obscure game and they never it's never made it to North America and I don't think it ever will. I kind of considered doing that, but I'm like, that would probably be really hard to like try streaming that and try to follow a walkthrough because I wouldn't be able to like read a lot of it.
それはそうだけど。
I think in order for me to play like a import game, I'd probably have to brush up harder on my Japanese skills, reading skills, comprehension skills. Maybe Secret Reagent could do it, possibly. Do a Japanese import game. Translate as you go along.
それじゃあ改めて今後の活動
That might
に
be
ついてだ
harder
けど。
than saying that I still can't read shit. Yeah, it's like being able to read things at a fast enough pace that makes the game play kind of at least interesting. Like I couldn't do it. I'll read Hop on Pop in Japanese. Hop on Pop. But everyone knows mostly what that's about, don't they? I played Final Fantasy 13 in Japanese without understanding anything. Great game. But then you don't even know what the story was about though. So you know. I guess the story doesn't
それじゃ
matter.
あ当面の活動目標は渋谷復興祭のレポートっていうことでいいわね。
We ended up picking the obvious answer for our project. I'd been opposed to it until now, but after what was happening to me, I honestly didn't care anymore. I'd have been just as happy to do a cooking video. I can read elementary level books, so you could find like you could find a video game that's geared towards like middle school or elementary school students. Even the excitement I'd been feeling from my after-school date was beginning to fade. Oh no, not getting excited for his date. As the school day drew to a close, I kept turning my phone on and then turning it off again. First, I was thinking of calling Awazaki. My mood kept getting darker and darker as afternoon classes proceeded, and I didn't feel like I was up for a date anymore. Aww. It wouldn't be right to spend a date feeling like this, and more than anything, it would be rude to her. Part of me wanted to do it another day, and part of me didn't want to waste this chance. I thought and thought and...
やっぱり今日は体調が悪いってことにして別の日に伸ばしてもらおう。
Might as well get it over with then. I turned my phone on again before I could change my mind and then tapped in her number. Can she memorize her number? She didn't answer.
もう一回
I'm gonna start watching media in Japanese with subtitles so I can learn how to listen for comprehension. Wait, you weren't already like watching anime? Subtitled anime? Oh, okay, so like you really weren't? That's really surprising. I find though I haven't really, even though I watched like a bit of anime and stuff like that, I'm sure there's like lots of people who do this too. Like you watch a lot of subtitled stuff, but you're so reliant on the subtitles, so you're not really learning too much anyways. I think the better way to do it probably is like to probably turn off the subtitles and force yourself to watch it. I think I'll watch anime when I get to 5,000 words memorized. I see. Like, you might have to like work through an episode like a couple times and start trying to like understand what they're doing in the episode without knowing what the plot is about, like blind watching anime, and like watching it without the subtitles first to see how much so that way you can sort of measure a percentage of how much you understand of it, and then go through it again, maybe with subtitles or whatever, or maybe at certain lines you're struggling to understand. Yeah, I think that would probably be a better way to go about it, because like I've watched a lot of subtitled stuff and I don't think I've really learned much. And here, hold on. The phone ringing is getting to me. I kept trying, but she never picked up. But I mean, it's all about finding a method for yourself that works. Like for me, I find I'm way too reliant on the subtitles, so I don't really learn too much. I would probably have to do it the way I outlined it to you. Like if I were to try and force myself to up my comprehension of listening to Japanese, conversational Japanese, I would have to probably turn off subtitles and actually watch series without it and see how much I could understand and just keep doing that. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. It just probably means watching the same episodes over and over again though. Couldn't think of it. She would have seen that I called last night, but she hadn't called me back. Sounds hard. It is very muzukashi, isn't it? Learning any language is pretty hard. And also it's not really a very I want to say more it's not a very purposeful way of learning Japanese, I would say, but at least like if you're trying to watch an episode you've never like blind watching an episode, you're at least trying to like figure it out, I guess. So maybe it's more fun. I don't know. Muzukashi shiso? Shiso? Is that how it's said? Muzukashiso? Best way to learn Japanese is to book a one-way flight to Japan and fly right back to your home country. Like, book a one-way flight. You have shit all on you. Maybe you have like the clothes on your back and stuff. Muzukashi zo. Oh, zo. Okay. So. Oh no, that's so. I misread that. I misread it. I always forget to read like the, what do you call those, tentens for the proper word or letter, I guess. If you got a call from your boyfriend, wouldn't you normally either pick up right away or call back? Nihongo? Is that Nihongo? Fight your way back. Or just be forever trapped in Japan. You know. Maybe you get as lucky as Takuru and you find an RV in some bum camp and you can live there forever. It might not be ideal, but it would be better than blowing her off. I decided to visit the second year classrooms, but I didn't know what Awazaki looked like. I only knew her name and phone number. I should have asked Ito first maybe, but there was no helping that now. She'd be able to tell me what class Awazaki was in, at least. I went to Arimura's classroom, but I couldn't find her. She may have gone home already. I guess I just have to.
あの、
はい。
I worked up what little courage I had and asked one of the girls walking by.
ちょっといいですか？
なんですか？
その、青崎ゆめさんのクラスってどこですか？
は？
だから、青崎ゆめさん。
青崎？
That was strange. If she was the prettiest girl in school, she should have at least heard of her.
あの、
Miyashiro Takuru never heard of her either. He had no idea who she was. I asked someone else, but
青崎さん知ってる？知らない。てかそんな人2年にはいなくない？
there wasn't. Arimuna had said that she was the prettiest girl in school, not just the second year class. Ito knew about her too, and he'd even been jealous of me. I talked to her last night on the phone. What's going on? Why don't these students know about her? I thought this was supposed to be his dream. I decided to visit the first year class just to be sure. Maybe I'd heard wrong, and Awazaki was a first year student, not a second year student? But
いませんよ、そんな子。
Arimura is a guy? Arimura is a girl. Well, I mean, he was a guy in that one delusion. What the hell is going on? How could there be nobody named Awazaki Yume in either grade?
そうだ。
I decided to call Arimura.
くそ。
This was the first time I could remember where she hadn't picked up the phone. Fine, I'd send a text. I waited, but got no answer. What the hell? What was happening here? A black shadow started to press down on my heart. Did this have something to do with the other strange things that were happening around me? Or was my earlier guess right and Arimura and the others were trying to prank me? No, they're trying to save you, stupid. You're dying. I wasn't gonna get anywhere sitting around all day waiting for an answer. I ended up going to Cafe Lex where we were supposed to meet. If we went there, maybe I should be able to find her. Even if it was a prank, my friends would be all there, eagerly awaiting my arrival. Either way, I'd learned something. It was kind of funny that his friends didn't come after him after school to like follow him or something. I went into the cafe and looked around from a slightly concealed vantage point.
何をしておる？
あ、いや、ちょっと。
まあよい。さっきからずっと待っておるぞ。
あ、そう。
Huh? Wait a second.
待ち人じゃ。ほれ、そこに。あ。
I adjusted my glasses and took another look. Who this? Is it the girl of his dreams?
来てくれたんですね。待ってたんですよ、宮代先輩。
Is this pissed waifu Arimura? No, this is Awazaki Yume. She's supposed to be the most prettiest girl in school. Not just second grade. All thought evaporated from my mind. The world quickly lost its color and all the noise around me seemed to fade away. The only thing I could see was the girl in front of me. Oh my god, why did he shriek out? A shock like a gunshot went through my chest. Her silken hair, her long eyelashes, her oval eyes like stars, her perfect nose, her lips the color of pale cherry blossoms. Her chest was the perfect size, not too large and not too small, and her hips were curvy, but not too curvy. She certainly is a Yume. Her skin was smooth and it glowed like there was light shining from within her. And more than anything, her beautiful smile as she looked at me, every part of her body seemed to have been blessed by the goddess of beauty herself. Yeah, what are two curvy hips? I don't know. Being that it translates to yeah, no, I know, I noticed that her name was Awazaki Yume. I'm trying to figure out what Awazaki means also. I mean, I know Aoi means blue. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Or maybe it means Awazaki maybe means something specifically in the name. But yeah, I noticed that her last name was Yume. More cute? What the fuck?
先輩
Yes, she was an angel. She was a miracle come down from heaven. She was destined to be exactly what I wanted. There was no exaggeration. It was the only way I could think of it. I was looking at the very incarnation of everything I ever wanted in a girl. What could I call this except a miracle? Could mean blue salmon tree? No, but it's Aozaki, not Saki. Zaki means blossom. Okay, yeah, see? Aozaki, maybe so blue blossom dream? That makes more sense. No, Zake? I thought fish was sake, not za. It should be sa. Isn't it? Or am I mistaken about that? I'm pretty sure it's sake though. Sake is fish. Also the alcoholic drink. I don't really like sake. I like sake. Not the drink, but the fish. It changes to Z if it's in a compound word. Oh, okay. And if it comes after a certain word. Oh, okay. It has got one of those rules. Yeah. A lot of languages have these things where like letters may change to make them sound better when they're being combined in certain ways so that it rolls off the tongue better. That's interesting. All the doubts in the back of my mind crumbled away like sand blown by the wind. All the girls in the lower classes at Hekiho had told me they'd never heard of Aozaki Yume, but here she was right here, right in front of me. What other fact could I possibly need?
どうしたんですか先輩
I still haven't memorized them. I'm sure even natives probably don't memorize these rules. It's just something that comes from years of like usage, like in English. I'm sure there are a lot of rules that English native speakers don't memorize, but they're just kind of like aware of on a more subconscious level. Oh, we get this thing. Okay, I guess we'll go positive. I think, hold on, let me see. I just want to check that I can go all positive for her ending. Dream sky end. Another sky. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's two different endings in this route. So I can go all positive for one of them. I before E except after scene, except all other times the rule doesn't matter. Lol. That seems to be like the one rule that people know with any certainty. Did we choose positive? Everything was right in front of me. Believe and you shall be saved. Just as I took a step toward her. Don't question it. I heard loud footsteps coming up the outside stairs. The footsteps stopped, and then I heard the door open. I turned and saw...
Onoe? お前なんでここに? もしかしてつけてきたのか?
つけてきたんじゃないもんついてきたんだもん
どっちだって同じだろ。なんでそんなことするんだよ。
だって気になるんだもん。
は？聞こえないよ。
She's kind of mumbling it there.
だから気になるんだもん。
Sedaka stuck her lips out into a pout and sulked.
気になるってどうせ面白半分だろ。さすがにそういうのはどうかと。
違うもんそうじゃないもんトクはさ
Sedaka never held back about saying what she was thinking, but now she looked really hesitant. It felt weird seeing her act this way.
トクはゆめちゃんになんて返事をするのオッケーって言ってそのまま ラブラブになっちゃうの？
ラブラブ。
ラブラブって。
オッケーするんでしょ？しちゃうんだよね。
それは。
ラブラブになっちゃう。
やっぱりそうなんだ。オッケーしちゃうんだ。それで人前で堂々とイチャイチャしたり、放課後の学校でチューしちゃったりするんだ。
チュー。
お前何言ってんだ。
そりゃ相手は学園一の美少女だし、断る理由なんてないよね。
OK するんでしょ。
あのな、別に僕がどう返事しようがお前には関係ないだろ。
Yeah, it's not really any of her business. I felt like she was throwing a tantrum and I reacted coldly. Normally she'd just complain more, but today something was different about Sedaka.
おのえ。
関係なくないもん。
The lighting of the cafe reflected off of her wet eyes.
おのえ。
I had no idea that Sedaka could look so sad.
関係なくなんかないもん。
おい。
私だって本当はずっとタクのこと見てたのに、タクの一番そばにいたのに、本当はずっとタクのこと一番好きだったのに。
Dun dun dun. Another, confession.
それなのに、こんなのいきなり出てきた女の子に取られちゃうなんて、そんなのやだよ。
All I could do was stand there like an idiot as she sobbed. Sedaka was in love with me? She always had been? No, but she'd never shown any signs of that. I had no idea what to do. At no time in my short life had I ever dealt with anything like this.
とにかくちょっと落ち着こう。
That was all I could say. I always thought of Sedaka as a friend, as someone I could always count on regardless of her sex. I'd never really seen her as a girl. I thought that we could always be friends like that, but...
もういいよ、タクのバカ。
Taka no baka! She turned away and ran down the stairs, the tears reflecting the light as they streamed down her face.
待てって、ちゃんと話を。
Wait, what word did she say? Was it taku no baka? Oh, hold on. We can just rewind and back and... Because I was trying to pay attention to the word she used. Taku no baka? Wait, why isn't it playing? Play the voice clip.
もういいよ、タクのバカ。
Taku no baka. Idiot Taku. And tried to follow after her when... And it ended. That was like an interesting delusion. As like something sort of negative kind of happened. Even though we chose positive. What? Was that a delusion? Then where was Sedaka?
すみません。
The footsteps coming up the stairs weren't Sedaka. They belonged to a man I'd never seen before. Sedaka? In love with me? What was I thinking? That was impossible.
あれ？
I suddenly gasped in surprise. Azuki had been right there in that chair a moment ago, but now she'd vanished. I looked all around the room, but she was nowhere to be seen. Had she gotten annoyed watching me just stand there and gone home? No, that was impossible. There was only one entrance to the cafe. It was impossible for her to leave without me seeing it. Maybe he was so entranced in his delusion? I went to where she'd been sitting and took a closer look. But there was nothing on the table. There was no sign that anybody had even put a water glass on the table, and the chair was pushed in. There was nothing to hint that anybody had been sitting there at all.
なんだよこれ。一体どうなってるんだ。
I'd seen a girl sitting there. I'd heard her voice. Was that all a hallucination? Another product of my delusions?
Huh?
I suddenly felt someone looking at me. I looked around the cafe, but I didn't see anyone. I looked outside the window on the other side of the street where the sun was setting. I saw a tiny silhouette looking up at me.
Uki.
Hold on guys, I'm gonna adjust my monitor here. Here's Uki. Oh wait, was that supposed to be like the something from The Shining? Which, by the way, is another movie I've not seen. I just know the references. There was no doubt about it. And as she looked at me with silent, calm eyes, there was an elegant and razor-sharp blade in her hand. That 3D sword. I ran out of the store. This time I was sure of it. Uki was watching me. What had Uki been doing there? If I could find out, I might be able to figure out what was going on. That certainly spurred me to action. I ran as fast as I could after her as she fled. She was just a little kid. At this distance, I'd be able to catch up to her. Or so I thought. But no matter how fast I ran, I didn't seem to get any closer. What was this weird sensation? It wasn't that my sense of distance was screwed up. It was like I was chasing something that wasn't there. What did those mean? Yeah, I haven't seen it either. What did those mean? Are you referring to what he said? Like, here's Uki. And like, the face. That face. What emote is that, by the way? Kate. That creepy face. I was moving my legs as fast as I could, but it was like in the nightmare where you're running from one person who's chasing you and you don't seem to be moving at all. Che doesn't even look Japanese. Or doesn't even look Japanese. Wait, are you talking about his emote? I have no idea. Tish. I'm like lost as to what's going on here. Dabu ni nachao. Oh, that line there? That was he was just like emulating what was going on in that scene. I can't remember what that exactly means. It's something like being all lovey-lovey. Google says it means I love you. Yeah. Well, in the scene that he was making fun of, or he was copying that from, that was when Setika here. Actually, we can just go back. We can just go back in the log and see where Setika said that. Where did Setika say that? Something about him being lovey-lovey with the prettiest girl.
Love.
Like that. I think it was this line.
タクはゆめちゃんになんて返事をするの？オッケーって言ってそのままラブラブになっちゃうの？
ラブラブになっちゃおう。Yeah. So things get all lovey-lovey, lovey-dovey. So that's what he was emulating that line there. Dabu dabu ni nachao. So dabu dabu means kind of like lovey-dovey and I think that's more like a kind of like a slang-ish kind of way of saying like lovey-lovey in Japanese. It's not something you would learn from like Japanese books when you're learning about the language. It's a very anime kind of thing. We read that line already. Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting when you're learning about Japanese, or like certain like books will kind of like teach it to you like proper Japanese, but then like when you're exposed to like media like anime and stuff like that, there's like other things to learn, like cultural kind of things. Also, why learning Japanese from anime is a joke. Yeah, this is true. This is very true. It's like you really need to know like what is like proper like Japanese, and then what is like just kind of like more like slangish kind of cultural kind of sayings and stuff like that, and having like a being aware of that at least, and not like trying to take Japanese classes from anime episodes. You know, because people don't really talk like that in Japan, I don't think. Or so I've been told. This time, my desperation pushed me beyond my limits. My lungs felt like they were on fire. My sides stung from lack of exercise. My legs were screaming that they were about to give up, but I forced myself to keep going. Uki turned around and saw me and then slipped through the turnstile to escape. I followed her through. I'd been in such a hurry that I hadn't put my card up to the machine, but it had let me through anyway. It had done the same for Uki too. She hadn't gotten out her card either. Why was the machine magically letting them through? I don't know. I will create ebonics in Japanese. Wait, what are ebonics? I've seen this word before, but I don't know entirely what it means. Let's Google it. Google-san, what does ebonics? American Black English regarded as a language in its own right rather than as the dialect of Standard English. Oh, I see. Interesting. Ebonics is a term that was originally intended to refer to the language of all people descended from enslaved Black Africans, particularly in West Africa, the Caribbean, and North America. Interesting. So I don't think you can really call that ebonics in Japanese. I don't know. Maybe you might want to probably consider calling it something else. I ran up the stairs to the platforms. Lest you confuse people by using that term for Japanese. It's an English dialect? Yeah, but like it sounds like it's referred to for like you know, Black people. Excuse my improper terms there. It's okay. I forgive you. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate your forgiveness. And I was just in time to see a train slide into the Harajuku platform and watch Uki get on.
Mate, Uki! Mate!
Mate. It disappeared? Uki had just gotten on a green car from the Yamanote line and it was gone. It hadn't left the station. I would at least be able to see it then. The whole platform was quiet, as if the train had never existed in the first place. No, not only that, the whole station was strangely dark. I couldn't see a single person. A cold chill ran up my back. What was going on? I looked around again and again, but the place was as quiet as the surface of the moon. Complete silence. Complete emptiness. There were no customers, no employees either. The information boards were all black. It showed nothing at all.
Huh?
This was impossible. Shibuya was supposed to be the 5th busiest station in Japan. I forced my tired legs to move and looked around for Uki, but the only sound on the platform was my footsteps, and there was no sign of Uki or anyone else. It felt like somebody had torn open my skull and started fiddling with my hippocampus. That was very scientific. I went down the platform and through the turnstile and everything was back to normal. What was going on? And then I heard the sound of the train coming in above me as if it was mocking me. I ran back up the stairs, feeling the people around me staring at me in bewilderment. But when I got up there, the platform was as empty as before. I had no idea what was going on anymore. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. I staggered down the stairs, feeling defeated. Once I got back down, the world was normal again. I didn't feel surprised anymore. I just felt empty. I put my back to the wall and let myself slide to the ground. Maybe I'd gone crazy. I looked up and saw a commercial for a music artist playing on the big TV above Scramble Crossing. It was playing a song by Phantasm that got just released a few days ago. Suddenly, there was static on the screen. That voice. Seruka and Kurusu too? Why was I hearing their voices from the TV?
妄想の渋谷
How do I get out of here? I heard a noise and their voices vanished, only to be replaced by the Phantasm music video once more. Was that a hallucination? No. It was another message like the ones I'd heard before.
妄想の渋谷
The lights in the intersection changed and the people started to move. Beyond them, standing in the gap between the crowds, I saw a girl. It was Yamazoe Uki holding her dai sword. Suddenly it felt like a dam burst in my mind. Gigalomaniacs. Yamazoe Uki's power as a gigalomaniac.
他人の思考や願望をリアルブートする能力
That's right. This whole thing started when I'd had a nightmare about being stabbed by Uki's dai sword. Then this must be... I started to move. The light was about to turn red, but I ran across the intersection anyway. Now he realizes the fucking truth. I forced my way to the other side of the street as the car horns blared at me.
やっと捕まえた
When I grabbed her by her tiny shoulders, Uki jerked and looked up at me in shock. The dai sword she'd been holding had vanished, but that didn't matter anymore.
悪いがもうこれ以上はごまかされないぞいい加減本当のことを話してもらおうか
Pretending to be scared wasn't going to work either.
ウキお前さっきディスオードを持ってたよな最近僕の周りで起こっているおかしな出来事あれはお前のせいなのか
Uki shook her head frantically to the left and right as if she was trying to wriggle out of my grasp.
ダメだ本当のことを話すまでは逃がさないからな
She looked around for help. I realized that the people around me were staring at me suspiciously. Stares, stares, stares. They formed a circle looking at me with cold, inconsiderate eyes.
おいそこ
Two black shadows forced their way through the crowd.
あんただあんたそこで何をしているんだ
いや
This was
ど
bad.
うした何かやましいことでもあるのか
違います彼女は知り合いで
犯罪を犯す奴は大体そう言うんだ
They
犯
do.
罪
Lol.
違う僕は
話は書で聞かせてもらおうさあこっちへ来なさい
Strong words grabbed me and held me tight. Uki slipped out of my grasp. She slid through the crowd and disappeared from my sight. If I got arrested here, not only would my life be over, I might lose a critical clue.
あんた学生か
これ壁標の制服ですね
ああなるほど道理であおい
I forced my way free and ran into the crowd.
待て
Does anyone ever stop when they hear that? If I was gonna stop, I wouldn't have run in the first place. Lol. I practically body slammed my way through the crowd, running as fast as I could while the people around cursed at me. How much time had I spent running it today? It felt like I'd been chasing a phantom of Uki forever. At some point, my legs started to move on their own. I couldn't see the police anymore, but I was still terrified that they might appear at any second. The only place I could go was to Alba Dorm.
タクル
Kurusu's eyes went wide as she saw me run in, out of breath. My lungs were begging me for oxygen. My heart was about to burn out like an engine low in gas.
どうしたの？そんなに慌てて何かあったの？
I thought I'd be able to speak, but my throat had dried up too much for me to get the words out.
とにかく水でも飲んで落ち着きなさい。
Usually I'd ask for a mountain view instead, but now wasn't the time. I took a gulp of water from the glass Kurusu brought me and finally calmed down.
それで何があったの？
あれは本当なのか？
落ち着いて話しなさい。それじゃあ一体何のことを言ってるのかわからないわ。
だから最近何度も僕にメッセージを送ってきてるだろ。あれは本当なのか？
メッセージ？
そうだよ。ここは渋谷じゃないって何度も。
I swallowed the rest of my sentence when I saw the look on her face. She was blinking at me in confusion with her head tilted to one side. It was clear she had no idea what I was talking about.
タクル？
These are dream figures. Let's say, just hypothetically, that this wasn't the real Shibuya. If that was the case, that meant the girl in front of me wasn't the real Kurusu. This meant I was probably wasting my time asking her anything. There was no point.
ウキは
I decided to do something else.
ウキちゃんがどうかしたの？
ウキは部屋にいるのか？
いえ、まだ帰ってないけど。でもそうね。もう少ししたら戻るんじゃないかしら。
Uki wouldn't know that I was here, and there was no other place for her to go as far as I knew. So all I had to do was wait.
ねえ、どうしたのタクル？何があったの？
いや、別に。
別にって、とてもそんな風には思えないわ。ウキちゃんと何かあったの？
This kind of reminds me of like in Stardew Valley when you're like trying to hunt down someone specifically and you're like, and there's kind of like a time schedule or something and you like really need to talk to them. So you like hit up all their haunts and they're like not there and you just have to like wait there in frustration for them or something. Kurusu was acting like she was really worried.
大丈夫だって。クルスが心
Not
配
the
するよう
time
な
for
ことは何
Mountain
もない。
Dew.
ただ、ちょっと聞きたいことがあっただけだよ。
There's always time for Mountain Dew.
本当
Although
に
actually
それだけ？
I don't really drink Mountain Dew myself.
本当だって。だからここで待たせてもらっていいか？
変なことじゃないわよね。ウキちゃんに聞きたいことって、あの子もいろいろ苦労してるんだから優しくしてあげなきゃダメよ。
分かってるって。
だったらいいけど。
Kurusu headed for the kitchen. She still looked worried. She was probably getting ready for dinner. For my part, I decided to just sit there and wait like I said I would. Come to think of it, Awazaki Yume, what had happened to her? I thought I saw her at Cafe Lex, but then she quickly disappeared. Or maybe she'd just been another hallucination? I think this whole thing is a hallucination, come on. I took out my phone and looked at the call history. I tapped the screen to call her number. If she answered, there was a lot I wanted to ask her. If she didn't... As I listened to the phone ring, a strange sort of urgency started to well up within me. There was no sign of her picking up. It rang 20 or 30 times without even going to an answering machine. I was getting nowhere, so I decided to end the call and try again. I didn't know what her plan was, but I would make this a battle of wills. I'd keep calling again and again until she picked up. I'd call again and again and again. One hour later, how many times had I called her? It was more times than I could count on both hands, I knew that much, but not once had she answered the phone. Maybe the monotonous sound of the ringing was getting to me because I was starting to get sleepy. It had been a stressful day, both physically and mentally. My mind, body, and spirit were all worn out, and exhaustion was building up. Well, he never actually got to sleep the day before because he stayed up all night reading magazines to prepare for the date. So it's like, why doesn't he feel more tired throughout the day? I guess he's getting more tired now. I suck at being a weeb. Oh no. You can always start now. You can always start now, secret. My eyelids started to feel heavy. It became harder and harder to stay awake. Maybe the way to get out of this delusion is to go to sleep. So he never went to sleep to get out of it. You know? Don't fall asleep.
タクル
I was like, how is Uki keeping this up? Kurusu had come back from the kitchen at some point and was standing next to me.
来る
もうダメよ。そんなところで寝ちゃ。風邪ひいち
I
ゃうじゃ
think
ない。
I've seen this movie already.
僕は
What happens next?
はいはい
No, don't
わか
spoil
っ
it
たか
for
ら
me.
こっちにいらっしゃい。お布団敷いてあげるから。
No.
ここで寝ちゃうより少しの時間でもちゃんと布団で寝た方が疲れも取れるから。
Kurusu grabbed me by the hand and stood me up.
もうしょうがないんだから。
Yeah, it was called Artemis Fowl. I didn't get the sense from Kurusu's voice that she was giving me any choice. Wait, oh, what? Giving me an order. Her voice was filled with kindness and compassion. I was too tired and her voice was too soft for me to resist. I let her take me where she wanted me to go. I was so sleepy I wasn't even sure what I was feeling.
はい、
Artemis
こ
Fowl.
っちよ。
I don't think I've heard of that movie. He sounded so tired. Kurusu brought me into what looked like a girl's room. Everything was colored pink and made for the taste of a little girl. This was... Oh, that's right. This was Uki's room. The flare was on the side shelf in the room. This was definitely Uki's room. But why here?
お布団今朝干したばかりだからふかふかのはずよ。
But still, it wasn't right to sleep in a girl's room when she wasn't here. Wait, that wasn't the real question. Then what was the real question? I didn't know. I didn't have the mental capacity left to think about it. Yeah, like, why would Kurusu set him up to sleep in this room? Like, realistically. Oh, it's a book. Although there is a movie coming out based on the book. Oh, okay. Artemis Fowl. And it has to do with, like, going to sleep? Hypnos, the god of sleep tempting me. A god in Greek mythology called Hypnos, said to rule over sleep, the younger brother of Thanatos, the god of death. It's kind of, you know, death and sleep going hand in hand, them being brothers. Well, it didn't matter. Well, I'm gonna save. We'll save here. Wait, hold on. Okay, I have a beginning Uki chapter, so we can do the other ending if we need to. I just wanted to sleep. I can summarize if you don't care about spoilers. Is it worth reading though? Is it worth reading? Because sometimes it's like when people recommend stuff, it's like, oh, maybe that sounds interesting enough to pursue reading. The first one is, oh, okay. You know what? Just summarize it. It's a young adult. I don't actually mind reading young adults because I don't read that much, so even a young adult is fine. It's actually better because it's quicker to read, or at least for me. I don't really read very fast anyways, so even young adults will take me a while to read. The desire to sleep is controlling my body and mind. As I fell into Uki's bed, I was surrounded by a gentle, mild scent of a young girl. It was a clean, sweet smell, like freshly washed sheets. The scent made me even more tired, and my eyelids slowly began to... My phone was making a noise in my pocket. Who could be calling at this hour? I'm sleepy. Call me some other time. But the phone didn't stop ringing no matter how long I waited. They just wouldn't stop, and even though my mind was still hazy, it felt like I had no choice but to pick up the phone. The name on the display was... That's right. So she'd seen my call and finally decided to call back? That's right. I had to find out who she is. I tried to move my fingers to tap the call icon, but my body felt far heavier than it should. I just needed to move my finger a little, but it was like my body belonged to someone else. It's like being drugged. Or she might just hang up, but it was like my body was paralyzed and it wouldn't move. It was like I was in a dream. A dream? But then, who was dreaming? No, that didn't matter. I needed to pick up the phone. If I didn't hurry, she'd hang up. Hurry, hurry. I put all my strength into the fingertip and finally was able to answer the call. My voice was so exhausted that it was hard to believe that those were my own words. Even as I talked, it felt like I was going to be dragged into the forest to sleep. It was too out of it to even tell whose voice it was on the phone. That sounds to Seneca. They never tell me how to get out of here. That sounds like Kunosato. I couldn't even tell who was saying what anymore. I was falling into the abyss of sleep. I could hear desperate cries from very close and from far away, but it was amazing how little it seemed to matter. The gentle light enveloped me, and I fell asleep. Oh, this is when he dies? He dies. What's up, Redneck? It's been a while since I've seen you. How you doing? I was supposed to be in Uki's room. Was this real? Or a dream? A dream? Whose dream? Mine? I screamed as something suddenly came into view. The tiny little boxes in the shape of a person, dark red liquid flowing out of them, an overwhelming metallic stench. Inside the boxes was... That's right. I...
彼女は俺にとってかけがえのない存在だった。それをお前は見殺しにしたんだ。糸お前次は宮代の番だ。よく切れるメスと麻酔薬は持ってきたか。
I've been so angry about Yui's death.
それがなきゃひどく痛くて苦しむぞ。なんだ泣いて命乞いでもするか。助けてくださいって土下座するか。お前。タクルさん。
I gasped when I heard the voice behind me.
よかった、見つかった。ゆいちゃんは。
And then, Uki saw the boxes near my feet and froze. Shocked, she looked at them and then at me as if she were trying to say something. And then, she saw Ito.
ゆいちゃんは。
She's still trying to lie to me?
今いいところなんだよ。可愛い妹の死で絶望の淵にいる宮代は絶望のままあの世へ送ってやるところなんだ。外野は黙ってみてろ。
Ito turned toward me. Uki looked at the boxes again and then she finally seemed to understand the meaning of Ito's words. And then... she took a half step back. And screamed. And glared at him in fury. The dye sword appeared in her little hand. Uki staggered forward, flailing the sword wildly. Ito had no idea how to handle this sudden attacker. I got between them, and then... stab. Oof. Wait, why would Ito react? He can't see the sword in her hand, so it would just look like she was like flinging something. Pain, heat. Like flinging an invisible weapon of sorts. That's right, she stabbed me with her dye sword. I remembered. That was what happened.
あれが現実。それじゃ今僕がいるここは
I could hear voices. I could hear Serika and Kurusu on the phone. Huh? What was going on? Was that a dream? Was I... Oh, that's right. This is Uki's room. I fell asleep in Uki's room. I was on the phone. I called Aozaki Yume, and then they called me. That's right. Serika's voice was calling me. Suddenly, something flew by me and knocked the phone out of my hands. It fell on the floor, its body split open by something sharp. My mind was still hazy as I forced myself to look up at the person holding the shiny blade above me. Standing next to the bed, her face filled with desperation, was...
ダメです。それ以上は気づいちゃいけないです。この世界こそがあなたのタクルさんの現実なんです。
Her voice was as sad and desperate as the expression on her face.
どういうことだ
Uki closed her eyes for just a moment.
優しい家族、温かい友達、楽しいこと、嬉しいこと、幸せなことだけがずっと繰り返しこれが現実の渋谷。これがタクルさんにとっての現実。それでいいじゃないですか。
違う
I struggled to get up, but my body wouldn't move.
何が
それ
What was wrong with it? If the dream I'd had was right, I wouldn't like what was waiting for me when I woke up. Compared to that, this was paradise. Just like Uki said, here there'd be nothing but fun things, pleasant things, and happy things in my life, but would that really mean I was alive?
やっぱり
I finally managed to get the strength in my arms and stomach to sit up.
やっぱりここは現実なんかじゃない
It's like the Matrix over again. I was trying to tell myself that, no matter how much I didn't want to admit it, no matter how much I didn't want to accept it, no matter how much I wanted to ignore it, if that was the truth, even if I almost died after being stabbed by Uki's dye sword, as long as I was alive.
やめて。お願いですからやめてください。
ウキ
どうしてなんですか。あなたさえ望めば、ここはどんな幸せな世界にもなるんです。それなのに、どうしてそんな風にせっかくの幸せを壊そうとするんですか。
そんなこと言ったって夢は夢でしかないいずれは覚めなきゃいけない
覚めない方がいい夢だってあります。
Uki looked like she was about to cry.
私はあなたに命に関わるような大きな怪我を負わせてしまいました。
Oh my
もしか
god.
したら
What is this
二
story?
度と今までのような生活はできないかもしれない。
Hold on, I'm just gonna read this quietly. Or fuck it, I'll just read it. Main character is 12-year-old Artemis Fowl, criminal, mastermind, millionaire genius at 12 years old. Oh my god. Already I'm right, like... I'm glad I didn't read this. Who conducts a plan to kidnap a fairy and hold them hostage. Fairies kidnapped have like hostage fund insurance, which is basically just a shit ton of gold, but the fairies don't play fair, so they hold siege to the Fowl Manor, where Artemis lives with his butler and his mother, who has depression after her husband went missing, trying to go straight with a trade deal, and the fairies are holding siege. One of their technological advancements. Magic is the ability to create a time-field loop around areas where all time holds still, holding everyone's conscious state in a loop. Eventually, the fairies fail to capture the manor after trying a bunch of different methods like sending a troll, hiring a burglar, so they give up and decide to use a biological bomb to kill Artemis, but he managed the time loop by altering his consciousness with sleeping pills, allowing him to leave the time loop through some magic wall. This already sounds kind of ridiculous. The fact that he's a freaking 12-year-old, like, criminal mastermind, millionaire genius is just like, God. Cringy. A little cringy. Just a little. But thank you for summarizing that so I didn't actually make the mistake of reading it. So, no offense to your taste if you enjoyed that story. It probably was better, you know, reading it through. Maybe. If that's your kind of jam. I guess, but yeah, I guess I could see that sort of being similar to what's going on here. There's always like sci-fi stories where they deal with like loops and stuff like that, and technically this isn't really a loop. This is more like being stuck in a dream. To me, this feels more like you know, the Matrix situation where you are either choosing to live a life of luxury that's not technically real, but your senses are being fooled enough that you can live a happy life, or, you know, choosing a real life that's full of misery and pain and stuff. The series has received positive critical reception and generated huge sales. Shrug? Is this a shrug emote? Oath meal. Keth shrug. Well, yeah. I mean, series can be wildly popular, but they don't have to necessarily be like really good, you know what I mean? But yeah, I get you. Wait, hold on. Maybe you'll never be able to go back to your old life. I heard you so badly that you might die? Okay.
現実に戻ったとしても、その先、あなたを待っているのは辛くて苦しくて嫌なことだらけの人生ですよ。
Are you throwing shade on my favorite series, Twilight? Wait, do you like Twilight too? Are you claiming that you like this series Artemis Fowl and also Twilight? I've never read Twilight, but I heard things. I've heard lots of things about Twilight.
そんなの生きてるって言えるんですか？生きてる意味があるんですか？
The words she said grew in mass and density, creating ripples in my heart. They weighed down heavily upon me, and my mind creaked under the strain. Wait, hold on. Wait, what exactly did she say? Is that really being alive? Is there any point in being alive like that when facing a life full of pain, misery, and horrible things? It's called living. This is real life, man. Bad shit happens. Good shit happens. It's just a balance of good and bad. Books are better than movie, but I liked a lot of things when I was 15. I got you. I've always considered maybe reading the Twilight series to see what the hype was all about, but I don't know. I'm not as interested enough to actually go and seek out the books and to do that. So, like, if someone literally handed me a copy of the book and was like, "Here, read this," I'd be like, "Okay," but you know, I'm not gonna put out enough effort to go and find a copy to read. At the same time, the heat and pain from when Uki had stabbed me came rushing back. The feeling of coughing up blood, the feeling of my life flowing out of me, despair shrouding my heart.
そんなの無理ですよ。私には耐えられないです。
But that's like killing Takuru and taking him away from all his friends and
だか
family.
ら私はこうして新しい世界を作ったんです。タクルさんの望む幸せな世界を作ったんです。このままこの世界にいた方がタクルさんは絶対に幸せでいられるんです。私だってその方が。
Slowly, like a slow-acting poison, all my negative emotions came welling forth to hold me back. It was fine to put on a brave face and say that I had to wake up from my dream. But if Uki was right, even if I did go back to the old world, my body would be half dead already. And Yui, my little sister. She'd been killed by the man I thought was my best friend, and now she was gone. Was there anything left for me in the real world? There was nothing but cruelty and coldness. It's not exactly true. You have other friends too. Other friends, other family who care about you and love you. God. But in this world, I wasn't hurt at all. Well, I guess there's that too. Yui was here too. There was even a girl who loved me. Was there really any reason I had to go back? Uki's voice was shaking. Tears were running down her pale white cheeks.
Uki.
Uki started to speak, her head downcast. She told me about herself.
まだ小さかった頃、お父さんやお母さんに連れられて、不思議なそこではたくさんの人たちがお祈りをしたり、瞑想をしたりしていました。
I imagined it was some kind of religious facility. Evidently, her parents had been involved in some kind of
お
cult.
父さんとお母さんはとても厳しい人で、私がどうしてそこに行かなければいけないのか教えてはくれませんでしたし、私もある日、私はあの地下へと連れて行かれました。そしてその後すぐに大きな地震があって、お父さんとお母さんは死んだって言われました。両親の他には親戚は誰もいなくて、行くところのなくなってしまった私は、あの地下の部屋で皆さんの面倒を見るようになりました。
Was she kidnapped from her parents? Maybe they're
それ
still
も
alive.
私にとっては当然の成り行きで、どうしてこんなことをしなければいけないのかなんて疑問に思うことはありませんでした。
I remembered when I took her out of that basement. She'd been there since she was very little and had been everything she had.
いろいろとお世話をしていると、皆さんはありがとうって言ってくれました。その言葉を聞くととても嬉しくて、すごく優しい気持ちになれました。はあ、この人たちは私を必要と思ってくれてるんだ。私のことを頼ってくれてるんだ。そう思うととても温かい気持ちになれました。
For young Uki, being needed was the only way she felt she had any value in the world. I could see that from how hard she worked at Albadoran. That desire to be needed was the only thing that kept her going.
私の周りにいる人が幸せになってくれることが嬉しいんです。私が幸せになることよりも誰かが幸せになる、その方が私にとってはとても嬉しいことなんです。誰かに幸せになってほしい、誰かを幸せにしたい、ありがとうって笑ってもらいたい。私はきっとそのために生まれたんです。それなのに。
Her round eyes filled with tears again.
なのに、私はタクルさんにあんなことを。私のせいでタクルさんは私はタクルさんを不幸にしてしまったんです。私にはもう現実の世界でタクルさんを幸せにすることはできません。でもこの世界なら私はタクルさんのことを幸せにすることができます。タクルさんに笑ってもらったり、ありがとうって言ってもらえることができるんです。だからお願いします。どうかこの世界でタクルさんが幸せになるお手伝いをさせてください。
僕を幸せに。ウキが。
Why, I wonder? The meaning of Uki's words slowly sank in. Here, I could be happy. Here, I could smile.
タクルさん。
So maybe it would be okay to stay here. As soon as I started to think so, I began to feel incredibly tired again. Everything started to get hazy. I'm sure this is for the best. Nobody wants to suffer. There's no difference between reality and delusion anyway. It's all just what your brain is showing you. So it's better to be happy.
タクルさん、
if I let myself sleep.
私が守りますから。あなたの幸せをずっと守っていきますから。
When I wake up, I'll be happy. Oh no, he succumbs to the dream. This is the ending we opted for by choosing all positives. Everything started to fade away. A tiny hand rubbed my back. It was Uki's hand, gentle and warm. It would keep me safe. So that's... Maybe she was right. If Uki would make me happy, that was fine with me. I slowly sank into the abyss of unconsciousness. Another Uki? It literally said another Uki. Suddenly I heard a voice that pulled me back from the abyss. A roar filled the air and a single ray of light flashed. It felt like the void itself was being sliced apart. I struggled to open my eyes and then forced my vision into focus. I saw two people there. One was Uki, who was on top of me, and the other... And the other Uki was holding a huge elegant blade far too big for her little body and using it to tear open a hole in space. The Uki from the other side of the void swung her sword in a flash. Why is there two Ukis? The Uki on top of me leapt back and just barely dodged. My mind was having trouble comprehending the fact that I was seeing two Ukis. Nandayo. Indeed. What was happening? What was going on? Was this part of the dream? Or was it real? I was too tired to try and understand. Why were there two Ukis? The other Uki lifted her blade and readied it. Uki raised her hand out into the emptiness and plunged it into a crack between dimensions. The quanta formed in a dead spot in my brain. Suspenseful music. And with the dazzling light, the long flowing blade, the dai sword, appeared in her hand. Oh no, we can't tell the difference. We've seen doubles here, guys. We've seen doubles. Or is there a difference between them? I don't see a difference between them. They're both the same. They just copied pasta. They copied pasta the image. I was kind of hoping maybe you could tell. Maybe there might be subtle differences between the two Ukis. Span the differences. Go. You have 1 minute to spot the 20 differences. There you go. The two of them stared at each other for a moment. They both moved at almost the exact same time. Oh, see, that's quite the CG right there. It's quite the CG right there. I'm gonna actually kind of like that. That's kind of cool. I should take more screenshots of this game. Or, I mean, I guess I could download the CG, but... ah, whatever. We'll take screenshots. New Dista background. I realize I have not really taken any screenshots of this game. I really should take more screenshots more often. A blade was brought down in a flash like a hawk descending on its prey. The other Uki raised her weapon to... something? Block it? Whatever. Block. And then the other Uki launched her counterattack. The sword scorched the air as it danced faster than the wind. But her powerful strike was deflected by a strange movement where she held the blade diagonally. Wind, sound, impact. The two switched rapidly between the attacker and defender. The two switched rapidly between one place and another. The two switched rapidly in my mind. I couldn't tell which was which anymore. One of the Uki seemed to be losing slightly. She yelled in a loud voice that didn't sound like Uki at all.
騙されるどういうことだよ
彼女が今目の前にいるこの私がさっき話したことは全部嘘なんです。だから騙されないでください。余計なこと言わないで。
A lie? What she just said? That I could live happily in my dreams? That was all a lie?
よく聞いてください。もしもこのまま彼女の言いなりになったとしても、あなたに幸せはありません。
僕に幸せ
そうです。このままではあなたは妄想の中に溶けてゆくだけ。そのまま二度と戻ってこれなくなってしまうだけです。
Why is there an evil Uki?
それ以
pale fireworks flashed violently in front of me, and rainbow streaks of lights burned into my eyes. I tried as hard as I could think about what the other Uki, the one that had just appeared, was telling me.
タクルさん、この子の言ってることは嘘です。夢の中ならあなたは幸せになれるんです。違います。そんなの大嘘です。
Which was the real her? Who should I believe?
タクルさん、もう一度よく思い出してください。あの時何が起きたのかを。
Why is Uki's power going out of like control like this for her? Like, why is there an evil Uki? Then?
あの日何が起きたのかをもう一度。それ以上は。
Wait, hold on, guys. Do you guys hear that? Hold on. Do you hear this? Wait, I'm gonna lower the game volume here. Okay, maybe you can't hear that. What? No, you can't hear it from here. There's like an incredibly obnoxiously loud like frog or something outside my window. It's like croaking like nuts right now. It's like freaking 1 a.m. in the morning and there's a goddamn frog croaking right outside my window. And I can hear it through my headphones. What the fuck? Are you serious? How can you hear it? I don't even see the sound registering on my mic in OBS. Uh-oh. I think my stream might go down. Possibly? I don't know. Twitch is saying that my stream is